Alright, hey everybody. School 333 here. TJ from the interwebs. What I got here today, I'm going to do a quick little review right here. This is the Armattan 155X. Okay. With the FPV Pod on top. Now, what makes this different? Now, this is a 155 size quad. Now, if you go on the Armattan website, armattanquads.com, you will look and you will see that there is a 155X acro. Okay, and that is what this is right here. This is a just pure X, handles 4-inch props. Okay, handles a 1300 or 1800 series motors, no problems. And what I have on there right now is the Dow's 4045 tri-blades. So you can see they're all symmetrical and pretty close to touching. Okay. So without the pod on top, you can have a nice little acro quad. It's pretty small. You can obviously put whatever size motor and props you want on it. And you get a nice little cute little top plate. So you can make it pretty thin. Now, what I have on top that made it even funner was the FPV Pod. Had the acro. I flew the acro. Kind of kept it in my little bag as, oh, weather's good. I fly a little acro in between, kind of have some fun. I got tired of that after a while and decided, well, put a pod on it. They just came out with these. They had them for the 130s. Now it's kind of like a universal. Anything you have that is your standard fitting for your flight controllers and whatnot, this will bolt on. So you don't necessarily need to have this 155 or any particular model to go into. As long as it has the holes on top, you can put it on top. I saw today someone put one on a Morphite frame. I've seen them put on other models from other companies. As long as you have that top, it's going to fit. Okay. It uses your standard HS1177 camera. It is screwed into the sides directly for your tilt here. Okay. And it is based on using the standard Amway 200 milliwatts. I think we get them up to 625s now. Or a Hawkeye VTX. Why? Because you kind of have a little offset here. You can see that. For your camera, so you can screw it directly in. I have an adapter which is kind of holding it in. Or you have the side plate for your extension. Actually, when I rebuild this in a little while, just because I kind of wanted this down below, your extension cable can go right down through the inside and here. Now, with it being this small, it actually is kind of really spacious. What winds up happening is, since everything is tucked in, you have a lot of space in this area here, but behind the VTX, the LED, which is an option with your red, green, blue adjustable LEDs here. But you have a lot of space in between here. I was actually going to put a minimum OSD in here. I actually have tons of room right in between the board and the pod here. I have my regulator, my receiver, and everything else tucked in this area. Now, you could make this shorter, but what I learned is there is this cute little notch right here, and that is for your props to clear. How neat is that? Yeah, because if you don't realize that props supposed to clear there, you'll chop this stuff up. I did. Oops. Damn it. Oh well. So, you want to make sure you have the right height. It comes with these standoffs. I have a lot of extra parts, so I made it shorter. So just be sure, depending on your motor combination and your prop setup, how much space you're going to have. Because you got to remember, you are going to have some flex in the props too. It doesn't matter which ones you use, they're going to flex. So make sure you have the proper clearance so you're not hitting it up here. Okay. So with the pod, okay, it will screw into anything. Now, can you take this pod off and swap it, hot swap if you will, to other models? You can. Now to do that, you're going to have to obviously probably solder on some servo connections and extensions and stuff so you can not have to desolder. I soldered mine all directly onto this. Now, does this pop on and off? No, this does not pop on and off. This is actually pretty damn secured on here. Even though it's being held on by these 4 screws, it's stuck on there. How is it stuck? Because we have flat plates and hot plates. It's slotted, okay? So, I'm actually going to run out. I forgot to draw my screwdriver. but I'll show you how this comes off in 1 second. Alright, I'm not sitting at my regular table, so I don't have my tools with me. So I got my tools now. So, let me show you how this comes off. Now, the HS1177 camera is known for having the most horrible screws in the world. You can replace them with some metric ones, which I have done in the past. Here I have these on here still. Now, people say they strip out and whatnot. They do. The perk of this one is, it's not necessarily using these screws for tension. It is to an extent, but the clamping force of the pod itself, which I'll show you in a second why it kind of clamps down a little bit more than others, holds this in really awesome. I've put this through its paces on 4S, having a blast with it. I've done quite a bit of crashing with it. The camera has not moved on me yet. You know, it's not shaking itself away. So with that being said, I'm just going to show you how this pops apart real quick if you wanted to swap it on the other models. Like I said, I am not, so you're going to see all my wires kind of out because I have them directly soldered. But you're going to take your screw off on the side. Boom. One. Okay. You got 3 Allen heads here. These are just threading into the standoffs inside, so there's 3 standoffs that come with the kit. Alright, now you'll see that little tang right here where your antenna could go. On the other side you have a little clip. It kind of looks similar. If you had something in there, you obviously would have to unthread it at this point. Since I do not, this just pulls out to the side, like so. Okay, actually I'll put that there so you can see it. So now you're left with the meat. You can take your LED out. Everything was just kind of being held in by the slots, and now you can pull this off to the side. Now the camera, that's got a thing. My VTX, that's got an adapter on it. We can take that off. So I'm just looking at the LED dangling. So now that, you can see right here, you just have a top plate. Hole in the middle for your wires, and here is your antenna hole, and here is a little kind of clippy thing. Okay, so that's what's holding that on the side. Now here is one of the side plates. Now you can see I was telling you how the camera is more friction head in besides just a screw. You can see right here there's actually recesses machined into the carbon, which lets the standoff sit a little bit lower in there. So you don't have to worry about that as much. And then you have your slots obviously for all your other stuff to go into. So that's what you see there. And then of course that just goes right into there. And friction holds that in, which is really nice. And of course this would just slide right over your screws here. So it's kind of keeping them locked in from the side. So it's just as easy to put it back together, obviously, because you just have the 3 screws and I just got to push it all back together. But it is really neat. Like I said, if you did want to take this now off, and if you had like a quick disconnects, put it onto a bigger quad. If you had another acro version that was like a 180, you can go up to the 355, I think, is a size that Armattan sells that you could pop this pod onto and take all of your FPV gear with you in a nice little tight package. You just have to make sure that if you're using the LED board, that you do have your flight controller set up for LEDs and that you do have the extra 5-volt regulator that is required for the LEDs. If you opt out of the LED option, obviously it's just your camera and transmitter. So with that being said, I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to keep it, obviously. It's a nice little one that fits in my bag. I think it screams through the air, especially with these tri-blocks. Probably going to upgrade motors. I'm hoping we can get a bigger motor size eventually, hint hint. And then I'll really feel happy. I'll be up with my F1 4B I like that one a lot too, but this is a lot lighter. Actually, I'll put this on, and with the power of movie magic, we'll come back with a scale. How about that? Scale! I miss not sitting at my other desk. I don't have all my stuff with me. Alright, I got a scale. I got my quad. So hopefully this can be seen. Got it on, 0 grams. Alright, so we are fully loaded. Got everything back on. The only thing I am missing is my battery and my antenna. Okay, so obviously these can vary a little bit. Velcro on the bottom, standard build here. So put that on the scale. We're at 0 now, and we're at 222 grams on the kitchen scale here. Now, for a reference, this is what we're going to do here. Here's a 155 swinging 4-inch props. I happen to have F14B. Same basic concept. Now, this one does have bigger motors. It has a 2205 compared to the 1800s on this one. I do have a 3D printed wedge on here for my GoPro. I also have, let's see, what else is a bit different? That's basically about it. But if you're going for this size and you want to see the weight difference, boom, 300 and 1600 grams difference. Swinging the same inch prop, different size. This thing really does scream. Okay, if we got the bigger motors, you're going to add a few more grams to this one. If we ever got to have a true fair comparison, you can build this one lighter with the smaller motors. It all depends on your flying style. The biggest difference, I want to just do a quick point out between the two if you're trying to make that, which one should I get? If you put the antenna on the top here, you have no flat spot on top to do your camera on top of here. Now I'm going to move it down below just so I can put my my run cam on top of here with like a little foam wedge and strap it down, and then I'll be pretty much be able to say it's pretty much even. This has a lot of the flatter deck, so you can obviously cram a lot more stuff into this one, but you are looking at a 100-gram weight difference between the two here, as they both stand. Now I know they're not evenly matched, but the smaller motors and everything makes up for the 100-gram difference. Also, we'll do another quick little thing here. With this one here, I'm going to probably get asked what batteries am I using. I have been using a 1000 and a 850 milliamp 4S battery. I've been using the Armattan 65C 1000 milliamps and the Paragon UAV 850 milliamp 65C 4S lipos on it, which they're both really light, they're both really small, and for this size here they've been working really awesome. I've been really happy with them. So if you're like 4S, I obviously would go with these two sizes here. Other than that, the 155 has won a new spot in my heart. So I've been taking this one a lot more with me because it is really small. I can really take this into a lot of places. Between this, my goggles, and my batteries, small box takes all of this with me. I can throw it in my backpack or whatever and go with it. Really acrobatic, really nimble, really fun to play with. Pod, put it on anything you like, your little heart desires. If you even had a favorite quad, you can even go to Armattan Productions and hit up one of the guys on there where they could make you an adapter plate if need be. If you do not have these standard mounting holes on top, most quads do these days. So really this is almost like a universal pod. So you're going to fit most of your quads up here that are acrobatic, or some of your FPV ones, as long as you're not the older, obviously, H-types. But with that being said, the pod and the 155 gets a thumbs up from me. Standard Armattan lifetime warranty on the frame and the carbon components. So go ahead, if you like it, check it out, armattanquads.com, or you can go to Armattan Productions and go ahead and get anything else you need, perhaps printed or cut in any carbon you see fit. So with that, I've talked too long. Good night.